Welcome to Selkirk Provincial Park.
A beautifully maintained provincial park along the shores of Lake Erie. We are Cheryl and Ben Coles.
We've been camping together for over 35 years.
A few years ago, we started doing video reviews of Ontario provincial parks to help people when researching places to visit.
We are now in Season 4 of our park reviews.
We hope this helps you when deciding where to have your next camping adventure.
Thanks for coming along, Camping with the Coles.
Now we only get one life, I wanna make it count, honey. Come on now and take my hand.
Lake Erie.
Here we come. Selkirk Provincial Park is located on the shore of Lake Erie, about 15 minutes east of Port Dover. There are 4 campgrounds for a total of 88 electric and 67 non-electric sites.
It might not be no crossroad, but it's sure enough for far. Like left to LA or right to New York. Like stepping on the gas or taking it real slow. Feels like I'm split down the middle. Don't know which way to go. Oh no, feels like I'm split down the middle. Can't tell which way to go. No, no, no. Feels like I'm split down the middle. How can I tell which way to go? Oh no, feels like I'm split down the middle. How can I tell which way to go? Feels like I'm split down the middle. How can I tell which way to go? I just don't know.
Campground 1 has 0 electric and 30 non-electric sites. Campground 2 has 34 electric and 2 non-electric sites. Campground 3 has 0 electric and 30 non-electric sites and is radio free. Campground 4 has 54 electric and 5 non-electric sites. There's only one comfort station, and that's in campground number 2, which we are in presently at site number 69. Comfort station's right behind us. Campgrounds 1, 3, and 4 have a vault toilet, and there are 2 vault toilets at the beach. So if you get lucky enough to get site number 88, this is your backyard. There's a little pathway up here.
It rained a lot here over the past week, so there's a lot of really muddy sites. We lucked out with ours, no mud. But you can see on this little scamp here, had the mud shooting up from the Jeep tires. Some real muddy spots, but things are drying up now. This is the beach here on the Lake Erie shore, and then there's another beach on the Sandusk River shore. There's a dog beach in the day use area for your furry friends. In the day use area, they have the original type playground, and they've got a newer type playground right behind with swings, slides, everything for the kiddos. There's a canoe kayak launch between sites 14 and 15 in campground number 1. Takes you onto the Sandusk River. And there is one teeny tiny little amphitheater.
There's one hiking trail consisting of 2 1-kilometer loops. For those of you wondering about cell service at Selkirk Provincial Park, Bell, TELUS, Virgin Mobile, and Kudo seem to have alright service. I can't speak on the others. I wouldn't rely on it if you have to do your work, maybe, because it's kind of shoddy at times. And Ben said that he didn't get great reception when he was down in the beach area.
There's one trailer fill-up station and one trailer dump station. They're both on the same path. You go to the fill-up station here first. If there's already somebody here, you can't pass. There's no bypass at all. You can't get to the dump station. You have to wait for the person filling up. Then you can move on to the dump station. Now this is one little loop road. If it gets real busy, I'm thinking at the end of a long weekend, it could turn into a bit of a traffic jam here as you exit the same place that people are entering. Whoa, look at the snake!
Oh my God! Got it.
Oh boy, they're so close.
I had to go down my shorts. Okay, you're good.
So we ended up putting in at the dog beach rather than the kayak launch or the canoe launch, because the canoe launch has a whole bunch of algae on the surface. It looks pretty scummy, and I really didn't want to walk in the water there. Plus there's very limited parking at the dog beach. There's a lot more parking. We just had to hike the canoes a little bit further, but it was no big deal. Now we're on the Sandusk River, and it flows into Lake Erie. So when you go up the river, you're going against the current, but it's not difficult at all. And then you get the easier paddle on the way back. We're on the Sandusk River, and it looks like they're preparing for a wedding today. Got a nice little sign here on the island, and there's Cheryl in front of the wedding venue.
Black snake on the... Oh.
Black rat snake. This is the canoe kayak launch off of campground number 1. As you can see with all the stuff on the surface, that's why we didn't want to put in here, so we put in at the dog beach. We're at Hoover's Marina and Wharfside restaurant. Cheryl got the perch dinner. I got the pickerel dinner. Very nice.
Lovely view. got the peanut butter cup and my drippy marshmallow.
There's a wedding reception occurring on the other side of the Sandusk River, so it is a pretty good distance from here, and you can hear that reception going on through the entire park. Originally I thought it was somebody having a party in the park, and I thought, why the heck aren't the wardens shutting this down? But it's not even in the park. The sound's just traveling across the river to here, and it's really loud. Now it doesn't bother me that much, but it's very noticeable.
Suction. Can you hear that suction? It's splashing. It's splashing.
You can kayak to this.
Should have a boardwalk because everybody's stomping through this part.
Well, it's just unusually wet right now.
See, what are these, rose bushes or something? They keep grabbing me. Breathe, Cheryl. Ow! Did you see that? It impaled me. Those are like rose things. The thorns. Oh, this is not going well. So my question to you is, would you rather deal with a muddy trail with no mosquitoes or a dry trail with mosquitoes?
Got questions for me?
Yes.
I'd rather do this, a wet trail and no mosquitoes.
Yeah, it was a bit challenging, but I don't know what happened to the mosquitoes. But it was muddy but good.
Time for Cheryl's Loo Review.
So the vault toilets in campgrounds 1, 3, and 4, they're all the same. They have female and the male, 3 washrooms in each, 2 sinks, soap, hooks to hang things on, natural light and artificial light, and mirrors. The one at the beach is just 1 vault with 1 female and 1 male. So all the vault toilets are just a hole in the ground, no plumbing involved. The smells a little bit, but not bad. Again, it's the beginning of the season, so can't say anything more about that. Otherwise, I will give them a flower.
So on this trip, instead of going to a winery, we thought we'd bring the winery to us.
Cheers.
We have our homemade wine. Cheryl put together this nice little spread. This is our charcuterie. And saving a lot of money on this one. I like that.
It works. Beautiful day.
We're just out for a walk and somebody is offering these things for free. I think this is awesome. I could use a free paper plate. 25 kilometers west of the park is the beach town of Port Dover. Port Dover is well known for the Friday the 13th motorcycle rallies that occur every Friday the 13th. There's only one this year in 2022, and that was last month, May.
Just grabbing a quick bite at the beach house in Port Dover. Perch dinners.
Cheryl, what are you having?
I'm having panko fried perch.
And what am I having?
You're having the lemon, wine, herb perch.
Cool.
Yeah.
So Cheryl, what did the sign say at the beach?
Apparently, we can eat fries on the beach. It's no fires that are on the beach.
What did you think it said?
I thought it said no fries on the beach.
So if you're looking for a sandy beach or a nice town to spend the afternoon touring, Port Dover's the place to go. So a lot of people have asked, when you get to the dump station, you have a hose like this that's not threaded, how do you do a black water flush? Well, first of all, you don't have to do a black water flush every time you are at the trailer dump station. I'd recommend if there's a lineup behind you, you don't spend the time to do it. You're going to slow everything down. But in a situation like this, there's nobody around. It's very quiet. We've got the time. That's where I use something like this. And what I've done is I've taken a piece of old garden hose and I cut off the end of it. I have the male end on here, and then I put a, oh, I forget what this is called.
Clamp of some sort.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's a, an adjustable clamp there. I put that on there. And then I heated up the hose and expanded this end here. I actually expanded it by just shoving another screwdriver in, and the handle was the right size. So I expanded that end a little bit, and then it stays like that. Then all I do...
How did you heat it?
Used a heat gun. And then I can put this on here. Whoop. Move the clamp up. Hose clamp.
Hose clamp.
Thank you very much. And then tighten it on. Okay. So I've got it on there. Take it to the black water flush.
Make sure it is the black water flush, not the city water connection.
Right, this one says city water connection. This is liquid waste. That's your black water flush. Obviously you don't want to put it in your cable TV hookup.
And we saw somebody accidentally put it in their city water connection. That almost didn't end well.
Okay. Tighten that on there. So now I'm going to turn on the black water flush.
It is hooked in there.
Yep. Oh, great. They got a very good hose here. This poor connection has nothing to do. This poor connection has nothing to do with my hookup. You see, my hookup is good. This is just the pathetic hose that they have on here, which is quite common at the parks.
Time for replacement. Well, at least our trailer's getting a shower. It's time again for Cole's Notes for Selkirk Provincial Park. When we first arrived at the park, it was just a tiny little gatehouse, and I thought, oh, that's different than any other provincial park we've been to.
Except for Craigleith.
Yeah, except for
very
Craigleith,
similar to that.
Very similar. But we've been informed, somebody told us this used to be a conservation area.
And we were also told it used to be a private park.
So
I'm not really sure.
That's the reason for the water taps at the electrical sites, I guess.
We really like that.
When we came to the site, got all set up, we went for a bike ride around the park as we normally do, and we were impressed by all the sites are all grass sites. They were all mowed. They look like a backyard, very pristine. There's various trees, flowering shrubs, all kinds of birds, if you're into birds. A lot of Cinderella birds, not the Alfred Hitchcock. Not those ones.
When we were at Craigleith, we were talking about the constant sound of the traffic. Well, here, it's the constant sound of the birds, and it's beautiful. It's really nice. You're always hearing the birds.
It's kind of like being in a bird sanctuary.
Yeah. And like Cheryl said about the sites, they're well manicured. The lawns are better than our lawn at home. So,
the staff do well looking after. That's a lot of sites to look after, to cut the grass.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of work to look after all these sites.
Very good job at this park.
The day use area, again, it's a huge area. Big open space, well-cut grass. Lots of room for kids to play.
Volleyball.
Yeah.
Dog beach.
Yeah, there's the dog beach, which is probably the nicest beach here, which unfortunately isn't saying a whole lot.
It's a rocky beach, so if you're going to hang out at the beach, you probably want to have water shoes just to save your feet.
If you're coming to Lake Erie and you're looking for a beach-type park, I think you'd probably be looking at someplace like Long Point or Port Burwell or Rondo. If you're coming to Lake Erie and you're looking for a fishing-type place, again, I think you'd be looking at a place like Long Point or Rondo. This place has both a beach and fishing, but neither one is really stellar. The fishing is mostly carp and catfish, and we saw the carp splashing around. You felt the carp hitting your boat.
Under the bottom of my kayak.
Yeah. As we were told by some regulars at this park, in May and June, the park is often wet.
So there's a lot of wet puddles and mushy sites.
Yeah, a lot of very wet sites here. We got really fortunate with our site at Site 69. Even with the pouring rain, our site didn't stay wet, but there's a lot of sites where people were getting stuck in. They've had tow trucks come to pull people out of these sites. And that's just because the water doesn't drain. It just sits there. So that's unfortunate. But we're told that in July, August, September, whatever, that it does dry up.
Another point, when we got here, we went hiking in the forest. And it was really muddy and wet. It was near the swamp. There were no mosquitoes.
Strangest thing.
Yeah, I don't understand. And even at night, we're sitting out, there's no mosquitoes.
Yeah, like
that makes no sense. I've never in my life.
As we were just talking about, it's the wet sites and everything. It's kind of swampy. We're surrounded by kind of thick bush here. We do the hike in thick bush, and it's all muddy and everything.
Because last weekend we were hiking at Emily Tract, and there was so many mosquitoes on that hike, and it wasn't wet.
Yeah, and here there's nothing. When we first got here, we're going, this is crazy. There's no mosquitoes, and then I'm going, well, wait till dusk. As soon as dusk comes, we're gonna get eaten alive. Dusk came and went, nothing. So I don't know what's going on.
So that's a bonus.
But yeah, we really like it.
Just a fluke there's none at this time? But
It's really not saying anything about the park itself. I think it's just some fluke. I'm sure that there's going to be mosquitoes at other times and other flies. But right now, we just completely lucked out on this weekend. I guess it's time to give it a rating.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of things to do in the park, but it's a very nice park to come if you want to just kind of chill and relax and hang out with friends.
Yeah, it's a type of park that you'd spend a few days at. I can't imagine spending a couple weeks here.
Yeah.
Because the park is kind of in the middle of nowhere too, so there's not a lot around to do. And
we went into Port Dover.
Yeah. In the park itself, there's not a whole lot to do, but it's a very nice park. It's a family-friendly park, and if you're just looking for some R&R to get away from it all and to sit at a site,
birdwatching, reading,
bird watching and reading, that sort of thing, then you're going to get a good restful vacation at this park.
And it's close to a lot of people I know. So
it's close to a lot of people you know.
I know it.
Was there a lot of people here that you knew that I didn't see?
Well, a lot of people said it's close to them, so they just come over here.
Oh, it's close to a lot of people I know.
They said, it's just like an hour and a half away from us or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it's a nice early, short trip from home.
For us, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think for a rating?
What do
Okay,
you think?
I'm thinking around a 6,
I
which
might
is similar to Long Point. And,
Yeah, I might give it a 6.5 just because the sights are nice. And it's just, listen to it.
The sights are really nice and the birds are really nice. So yeah, I think I can go along
No
with that.
mosquitoes right
A
now.
6.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not our traditional type of park that we love, because as we've said many times before, we love kayaking, paddle boarding, hiking. We like doing all the active stuff and really exploring the area. But
We got through this one in an afternoon, pretty much.
yeah. And then the rest is some relaxing and just
Touring.
enjoying it
worked
here.
Over. And,
Yeah.
So there you have it.
So that's it. 6.5. And next, it's going to be in a couple of weeks. We're going to be going to
Sibbald Point Provincial Park.
on
So
Lake
that-
Simcoe.
Lake Simcoe.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
And then after that, we're going to start our big trip, our big 7-park
Yeah.
Lake Superior trip. And we're really looking forward to that.
Should be good.
But for now, we'll see you in the next video, and happy camping.